I just watched this documentary, The Art of Life, and I really liked it. It's a very nice story of a man who went to live. I believe he was from California. At least he was at the University of Berkeley, and he went to live in Hawaii. So he left at the age of 29. He is a mathematician, and he realized that he needs something different with his life, and he went to Hawaii to live in a natural setting. And the things he said, his observations are observations, and also his way of life, like what he did to he did in his life, uh, and also what impressed him enough to tell his story in this documentary. Those are like we can uh, draw some lessons from that. Um, so I will just play what he's saying, some parts of the documentary.
When I first came here, like 40 years ago, twice I was talking to an old Hawaiian, and they would start telling me about partying when they were young, before until the Holly thing took over. And all of a sudden you could hear it in the way they were talking what true freedom was. It was like a whole reality. It was like, wow, I don't have a clue what that was. We're enslaved inside of our heads without knowing it, without being able to see it. We're crippled. They call us howlies. And howly means without breath or without soul. And part of it is, like, hi, and we're in our brain someplace, hi. But Hawaiians like that, they grab you and give you a big bear hug, right? I mean, they're so real. It's so wonderful.
He's saying that people became insincere. That means fake. They don't connect with each other the way they used to. Um, their heads are somewhere else, which is being occupied by the technological civilization, basically, and they don't connect uh, with each other or with the nature. And he was upset about that, probably, and he realized that, and he just left. And also Ted Kaczynski, which is a Unabomber, uh, was in Berkeley, so he is saying that he replaced him in a way that there was when he left Berkeley to go to Montana. This man called his name is Michael. He and he went and took the open position until the day he left as well to Hawaii. And Ted Kaczynski, so I can draw many parallels with him because, of course, this man is not fully against technology. He didn't say anything about that. Uh, he should be probably, but I mean, he didn't say anything. But the thing is, I am sure he is aware uh, of these issues, and uh, also that, as Ted Kaczynski says, that the over socialization means being fake, means going against one's instincts, playing the game of the theater of the industrial civilization, technological civilization, the taught roles. So they are teaching us roles how to play to fit into the technological civilization, and many people really buy into those roles, even though these roles are against their instincts. They become hypocrites, two-faced, fake personalities, people, even without realizing that they're being fake. Uh, inside, they like consciously realizing. Inside, they are unhappy because basically they're fake, and deep down they know it. And this thing that they are just in conflict within themselves, and many of them don't have the capacity to understand what is going on, like what is wrong with them. And they blame all sorts of things, uh, and they can be full of hate. They misdirect their hate and anger towards oppressed beings or towards the false uh, targets, such as immigrants or whatever. And uh, you know basically that's the history, that's the story of humanity, for quite like many thousands of years for now, since the technological civilization got intense. These issues are growing in an exponential manner. And towards the end of this documentary, um, it shows that he is uh, trying to, as a human being, as a social human being, who saw, so he's intelligent enough to realize that something is wrong, and he took action about that. He did something about that. He left to connect with his roots, that is in nature, etc. But he couldn't find a human being to connect with him because his tribe is basically murdered. He doesn't belong to the Hawaiian culture because he wasn't grew up there. He's not a part of that, and no matter how much he wants to connect, uh, probably it won't happen because his tribe, as I said, was murdered thousands of years ago. And I say my tribe as well, many like your tribe as well. Uh, we are living mostly in a fake society, playing our roles, duties for jobs and for whatever role that we are given. But when we want to live something really sincere, like this man did, we find ourselves in a very lonely place, most of us. And, you know, yeah, so he went on to connect with dolphins. So he was swimming, um, and he said his back started hurting, and he started swimming more, to like longer distances, and he met some dolphins, and he started socializing with them. So it is so um, sad and at the same time happy, in a way that a social being who has been pushed away, who has been stripped of their instinct, their not instinct, but their rights to connect, to have a community, uh, you know, t- these rights taken away from him by the technological civilization and the destruction of uh, natural indigenous cultures and ways of living. This was taken away from him, so he pushed away to find another social being that is one of the most closest to us. There are dolphins. So it is not a coincidence that this documentary story is telling that it is a story of a person who is uh, in touch with his instincts, trying to find what he has lost uh, due to the technological civilization. Uh, can he be fully a part of the dolphin community? No, he's not a dolphin. As I said, he be fully part of the Hawaiian indigenous community if there's any left? Uh, no, because again, yes, he's a human, but he comes from a different place. He's like you need to have common, like some basis there. You can't just come and join a tribe and be a part of them. Although ideally we would wish that we can just get along with different cultures coming together, etc. But our brains, our like everything, is basically uh, wired in a different way. We see things in a different way. The culture is different, and it will take decades to adapt, if even if it is possible. And yeah, so it is possible, but it is very difficult. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to say in this video. I recommend this documentary, The Art of Life, and it was really a, a nice case of what happens when you try to be really a sincere human being. I mean, you search for like true meaning, and usually that leads to um, isolation and loneliness, because you realize that, this is fake, I can't connect, this is also fake, I can't connect. Why this is fake? Because it has been disturbed by technological civilization, and it just, there's nothing sincere left there. Our instincts don't work there anymore. If one is going to use their true sincere instincts, meaning like their feelings, they won't be able to fit in. And that is the sad reality. That's why, many people are now living on antidepressants, possibly, like increasingly more and more antidepressant use, more and more addictions, all types of stuff. That is, they are just trying to numb their instincts and feelings to be able to fit in to an increasingly corrupt, increasingly destructive, artificial system, society, and technological civilization that we blindly participate in. And also, after this documentary, The Art of Life, uh, I would like you to watch the Connections 2021 short documentary if you haven't watched it yet, and also Dominion 2018. They are really crucial documentaries that will inform you in one of the most important topics. So thank you very much for listening, and take care. Be vegan, live minimalist, and be like realize that the technology is the problem.